Can you guys hear me? Welcome. Here we are. You guys can hear me perfect. Thank you. I see a skinny, worn out Brian. He looks thin. Let's hear these statements. She'll be speaking on behalf of Bethany. Wait, what? How convenient, right? The exculpatory evidence that she was supposed to have lost a sister. She's speaking for Bethany. I want to hear Bethany. I knew this was going to happen. What? A dentist? She blaming her tooth pain. That's why she was asleep, because she took an Advil? What? What? Her brain wiped the whole memory. The worst day of her life. And now I have an ad? Wait, what? Are there actually ads on this? Is this for real? Or is that just on my end? I'm getting an ad. Like, bro, what is going on? They were asking for more time at the beginning. When right before I went live, they were begging for 5 more minutes. I heard somebody say, 5 more minutes, please. Maybe they were getting ready to sit down or something. Bro, I'm literally getting an ad. Come on, bro. And of course, you can't skip it, right? Let's see. Literally getting an ad. Literally getting an ad. Not even lying. See? Ads. No, I didn't know I was going to be doing a live either. So, uh, here we are. He's so emotionless. I've worked with a lot of neurodivergent people. A lot of them appear to be emotionless. Doesn't mean that they don't have emotions. People are angry in the comments. She's scared to go out in public. She's not scared to post this on social media, right? I mean, I'm just saying you're contradicting yourself, because you're definitely out and about. Not that she shouldn't. I'm paying attention to Alyssa and Taylor. What do you guys think about their faces? They look like They're just chilling. She's talking about all these things that supposedly they used to do. I can't stop thinking about the fact that Emily mentioned that Hunter and her had never closed the door. And for some effing reason, everybody and their mama that night had a feeling that something was up. Remember? And that they magically got up in the middle of the night to close the door. It just makes me wonder if they knew something. Alyssa to me looks uncomfortable. You know, and it weirds me out. And I wonder if Bill Thompson or the state had anything to do with this. The fact that they mentioned that Emily mentioned that she had a toothache, called her dental father, and he told her to take an Advil, and that's why she was asleep. What? Why did you throw that out there? There was no need to mention that unless you're trying to cover your own ass. And why would you try to cover your own ass like that on a freaking sentencing? This is supposed to be about Kohberger and the victims. That's it. But when somebody turns it around and makes it about themselves and is trying to protect their ass by saying they popped the freaking Advil, it's weird. It's weird. Ethan and Xana were absolute soulmates. Where is the G fam at? Where are they at? Are they in there? I thought that they had like at least 10 seats reserved or something for the family, but I'm not seeing them. What are you guys doing over there in the chat? This Emily chick really doing a media blitz right now, says Mads. During the Prime documentary, there was a lot of crying, but no tears. Yes, and I'm glad somebody else noticed that besides myself, because when I talk about it, I get attacked, but it was true. Anybody can like talk like this. Right? And I'm not mocking her. I'm just saying you have to be intelligent. Somebody is doing that to you and there's no tears. Bro, bruh, bruh. Welcome everybody to the chat. Let me know your thoughts in the chat. What do you think about this? The GFAM has probably a very special entry for VIP. I hope that there are cops around them because again, this is a case that has gone on for over 2.5 years. People are angry. It's very divisive. You know, you're either left or right with this case. And if you, there's like very few people that are very in between or very open minded. I feel like there's not a lot of us. And if you're on one side or the other, you're going to get a lot of hate. And makes me wonder, is the G fam, is that Detective Payne in the back behind Bill Thompson? That looks like Payne. The bald guy, do you guys see him? Dylan Mortonson wants accommodations. She wants to sit in her seat. Dylan Mortonson. Wow. Making a grand entry as asking for the big seat. The tears. Are they real? Are they fake? Remember, this is a woman who did not call the cops for 8 hours. This is a person who said she walked by Xana, saw her laying on the ground face down. I thought she was passed out. You didn't even go help her. You didn't even go flip her over. I just, I'm always going to question her. Dylan is the one that had Xana, or Xana, sorry, Kaylee go over to be her plus one. Didn't even hang out with her. Why are you having her go over as your plus one if you're not even going to hang out with her? I'm always going to have these questions for Dylan. Brian, Alyssa, and Ann Taylor have the same expression in their face. It was barely 19. A grown adult, people. Okay? Don't allow yourself to be manipulated. A toddler. We have so many hundreds of videos of toddlers calling 911. Here we have a 19-year-old who saw her friend passed out, didn't go to help, saw her on the floor, ignored her, lied about being frozen in shock. Then we find out she's on all kinds of social media. Is it possible that she is terrified about something else? Could somebody else still be threatening her? If she's actually involved in rugs with the Aryans, this is, I would understand the fear. Most people aren't going to do the right thing in that sort of scenario because yeah, it's your life or the other person's. And I'm not saying, of course, that's a situation. I'm just mentioning. And I got another ad. She can't stop shaking. Did you guys get another ad? I don't know if you can see it. Literally. Okay, now we can skip it. Does she though? Because soon after that, she was out partying, right? A lot of pictures were posted on social media about her partying. I'm not saying she shouldn't be allowed to carry on her life, but again, in my opinion, it's a contradiction, right? You're saying your life has changed dramatically, but all we see is the same party girl. And this was like days after the crime. You're still just chilling. And even Emily in that interview said that you were giggling on the phone. Okay, I'm not just going to forget about that. Who giggles on the phone after a crime? Emily says she didn't even know that something horrible had happened like that because she was laughing on the phone. What? I think it's weird how Bill Thompson is, like, assessing her. The posture is odd to me. And it looked like somebody just offered Detective Payne a napkin. Was that a tissue? What was that? Is that Detective Payne? Please let me know in the chat. Dylan is on. Pretty sure she's not trans. Remember that rumor? I don't know. I haven't seen her down there, so hard for me to know, boo. The look on the lawyer, I forget his name, next to Bill Thompson, I feel like he's looking at her like, come on, bro. Serious right now? Come on. Like, I feel like he's giving her the side eye, but that's just the vibe I get from the way he's leaning in his chair. Thank you so much for your courage, they said. I wish you would have had courage to call 911. I wish you would have had courage to go and see what was up when she saw Xana passed out on the floor. But instead, she walked right past her. Where was the courage then? Like, is Judge Hippler crying also? Is he see him blowing his nose? Scott Laramie. Ooh. Bill Thompson wiping the tears away. And this is very sad, right? This shouldn't have happened to anybody, but was it even Brian? I mean, the touch DNA, it's touch DNA, right? It's touch DNA, bro. Touch DNA that's not able to be used in military courts because it's trash. Okay. I wonder how the parents of Maddie Mogan are going to feel about what I mentioned in yesterday's live. How are they going to feel about the co-author Vicky Ward saying that Maddie Mogan always flicked her hair and told men no, right? In that book, One Night in Idaho. How are they going to feel that she's just inserting random tidbits of information in their book? You see, no one is batting an eye on the defense side. Not Anne, not Brian, not Alyssa, not Becca Barlow. Nobody likes Alyssa in the comments, right? In the comments of the live chat, they're saying, Nina Klein saying, why does that attorney to his left with the dark hair bother me? Does she not have an empathy face? A lot of people that are neurodivergent, we don't have an empathy face. Like, again, I've worked with a lot of people who are neurodivergent, especially autistic. It's like face is just different. Doesn't mean that you're not experiencing emotions internally. Just people are saying in the comments that Maddie was his target. And we've heard in previous interviews, Maddie's mom has said that she had to hold this man back. She had to hold Scott back at one of the hearings because he just wanted to like take Brian Kohberger out, right? So he's actually doing pretty well keeping his composure considering all things. Some people are saying, who's the guy with the white hair and beard? Bill Thompson, bro? Like, what? What? The Kohbergers need to pay for Dylan's therapy for the rest of her life? Why? It's not like his mom and dad did it. We don't even know if Brian Kohberger did it. People are so entitled, right? I think Brian looks very thin. I know that we had mentioned there was another hearing in the past where he looked a little bit tan. I think it was the lighting. I look and I'm seeing a thinner, frail, more pale Kohberger. Like if you put a picture from when he was first arrested to now, he's so much thinner. Brian is nodding very gently, but he is nodding. And again, another ad. I've lost track of the ads. What? I didn't know that these many ads were possible. Here we go. Yeah, he kept his composure. Scott Laramie. What is going on? Oh, per Karen Laramie. So she's not going to read anything? Additional impact. Is that Judge Hibbler crying? Please let me know, guys. What do you think? He nodded when he said taken. Brian did this. Did you guys catch that? Crazy. And people, please stop bothering the defense team. That's their job. Okay. Apparently, the defense has been getting a lot of threats, and they're just doing their job. They don't get to decide if they get to defend a good guy or a bad guy, right? They're appointed by the state. Ooh. So they don't want to waste thoughts and words on Kohberger, which is the same thing that Olivia G said, right? In yesterday's live, we covered that. She's saying, I don't want to give him any attention because that's what psychopaths feed off of attention. So is Miss. She's not going to speak. I don't think so. And he's looking at. It looks like he's looking. Brian Cober. It looks like he's looking at the shifting, looking around. Ben Mogan. Okay. The grandmother of Maddie Mogan. Oh no. I don't think I've ever seen her before. She's so cute. She's so cute. Kim Chile. Paternal grandmother. Okay. So Ben Mogan. Corey Hatrock. Wasn't she involved in some rug trafficking? And another ad. I think this is the 10th ad. in the last 40 minutes. Okay. She's out here thanking Judge Hippler, everybody else that helped in this investigation. It's very interesting to see how the family members feel regarding the judge, regarding the court, because I know that the statement that the G's make are going to be a little bit different than this one, right? I feel like the G family is going to be, they are very unhappy with how things turned out. They're not happy with the plea deal. I agree, Shelly Anderson. I see right through that. It just, remember, not only that, but they were also passing the phone around, right? And for people who are asking me, how do I feel about reading body language in this strict of a setting? It's very difficult because remember, he is neurodivergent, and this is a very specific situation. This is his sentencing. So it's going to be very different from other things. So people that are saying, "Oh, he's nodding. Oh, he's turning his chair." It's because he did it. I would argue that it's very difficult to read body language, especially neurodivergent individuals, especially in such a stressful setting, right? We know he has ACD, we know he has anxiety, we know he is on the spectrum, and this is his sentencing. Like, do you understand what that means? This man is getting, never getting out of jail, right? Probably. So if we're gonna hyper focus on every neck movement and nod, you know, not to mention that a lot of people when they're in jail are probably rugged. We know that the state has the ability to rug them heavily, sedate them technically, to keep them cool. And if this is an anxious man with OCD, with autism, I can almost bet that he is on some sort of cocktail provided to him. It's crazy what the state can do to you while you are incarcerated, even before you are proven guilty, by the way. And again, people are giving in the comments of the court TV live, sorry, they're making so many comments regarding Alyssa, saying that her and Ann Taylor lack empathy, that they're cruel. Look at their faces. I'm like, I don't know what you want them to be doing. What do you want them to be giddy? Do you want them to be smiling? Do you want them to be crying? What do you want from them? They're literally just there minding their own business. Like, you know? Ooh, somebody just donated $5 on the super chats to Court TV. It's somebody who goes by the name of Vandal. Free Brian, $5. I wouldn't be donating $5 to Court TV, but that's just me. Welcome, guys. Welcome to the chat. That sounds like an ad. YouTube Premium? Nah. I don't really watch YouTube like that. She was on Snapchat. She was so worried about somebody unaliving her. Exactly. She was on Snapchat and Yik Yak and TikTok, and she was FaceTiming her family, right? And Bethany isn't here, right? The person that was supposed to have the exculpatory evidence didn't have the nads, didn't have the nads to come here and give a statement. Bro, if you, in my opinion, right? These are all my opinions, my theories. In my opinion, if you have been called by the defense because you supposedly have some exculpatory evidence, it's probably because you have some exculpatory evidence. And I just find it strange that she didn't show up. She didn't show up. What? Do you guys think that we're ever going to get the full truth about this case? This grandma is honestly like, seems to be the person that's really keeping herself together, right? Some of the prosecutors are also not showing empathy. The judge looks like he's keeping a straight face, even though you can also see he's crying. That's right. Hello, Too Fast for Fleas. Welcome, guys. I know there's not a lot of people on here right now because I didn't tell you guys I was going to be on here. I just really, Judge Hippler, like we're 40, 50 minutes into this, really, and you're still crying? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that. This is a judge who, in the very beginning, we could all tell that he was biased and he didn't even try to hide it. Right? Didn't even try to hide it. Just like weird. So reading people's empathy faces are harder to read than others. Depends on the person, I think. Right? Because some people would argue that that we should be mirroring, that we should all be crying, but we don't all cry the same, right? Heather, welcome, Heather G. No, I don't think we'll ever know the truth of this case. The judge and prosecutor crying, but Maddie's own grandma, not stepdad, can keep it together, right? Okay. That's so fucked up. Latanya Anderson shared, you know, a comment on the Court TV Live that Dylan and Bethany's lifelong therapy should be paid for by the Kohberger family via civil suit. And I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with people? Everyone loves to be a hypocrite. They're talking about empathy. They're talking about, and I'm like, look, even if you believe that Brian Kohberger did it, why should his family have to get so fucked over to get sued and take everything away from them so that they can pay for Dylan should be paying for some shit, considering she didn't call the cops, right? If I was a G fam, I would be suing Dylan. I would be suing Bethany. I'm just saying we can turn this around very many ways, right? But the fact that people are the opposite of empathetic and they want to tear down the Kohberger family just because they have the same last name, bro, as if parents, played any role in their children becoming serial unalivers. Okay? Yeah, sometimes they do. But even if Brian Kohberger did this, why are you guys going to take this out on their family? And I think it's just how a lot of humans are naturally wired and they're unable to use their five senses, right? It's like we take one out, we take all of them out. It's a very animalistic, very very less brain cell way to think, I guess. Killers in the court, but it ain't Brian. Who do you think it is, Richard Lyon? Let me know if you feel safe. What's wrong with Ben? Is he okay? He's very broken, but it sounds like he wasn't really involved in raising Maddie. That's what he's making it sound like. We know he also has a past, right, of using substances. I'm not saying he's using them, but this is very sad. This is very sad. He almost comes across as very childlike, the way he's rocking his body as he speaks, holding his hand. I don't know. I think, just because his past is fucked up, we know Ben Mogan's past is fucked up, and also the woman he was with. They have a fucked up past. They've utilized a lot of drug substances, so a lot of people feel a very specific way about them. Um, he's sharing the Father's Day card. Last thing Maddie wrote to him. And another ad. Can you guys tell me how many ads on my ad already? 12 ads? This is crazy, bro. This is crazy. I'm glad he mentioned his addiction and substance abuse issues because people are going to bring it up anyway. People are going to bring it out anyway. You might as well just tell the world. You might as well, because otherwise you're going to twist your past, right? He says she kept him alive through all of those rough moments. People are saying Kohberger looks annoyed. I'm like, does he? Again, in my opinion, his facial expressions have changed minimally throughout this live. This is a broken man we are seeing, right? I feel like a lot of parents probably carry this guilt, like what I should have done or whatever. He's like scratching his head, self-soothing. Is he still on substances? I don't know. But the body language is throwing me off on Ben Mogan. But again, I haven't really seen a lot of Ben Mogan. I've seen a couple interviews. He hasn't been on the spotlight like the G-Fam has. Crazy. Hitler just looked at his watch like it's taking too long. He sure did. I'm glad he got that too. I've always gotten that vibe from Hitler, right? And I mean, I've gotten that vibe because he has that vibe. He told us since the first day, why start with an untruth? I don't want to be here. I don't give a, I don't care. Do your job. Do your job. You think Ann Taylor or whoever else chose to be there? No, that's your job, sir. Oh, here comes the G famine. We know, if we know anything about the G famine, is that they love being on the spotlight. They love the limelight. They love attention. They love being in the middle of everything, right? Especially Steve, in my opinion. He loves it. Damn, he turned the desk to look right at him, right in the eyes. Is that what he did? Is he looking at him? Oh, you picked the wrong families. Was it even Brian though? The wrong state. Ooh, he's calling him an outsider. And remember, in the very early days, they were like, it must be an outsider because what would we do if it was a person from within our community? Which is why a lot of people have theorized they pin this on an outsider because it totally would have wrecked the community, right? We know Idaho, they're all close to each other. They're all close to each other. They're going to protect their asses. None of us are divided. No, maybe not, but broken. You're broken, right? You're broken. You will never be the same again, Steve Gonzalez. The family will never be the same again. So you're trying to put up a fake ass front that you're like, this, it made us better individuals. It made us better. We're not divided. You even united us with the Pennsylvania police officers. Yeah, but you're broken, bro. This is not to talk shit to him. I'm just saying, at the end of the day, you still lost. You lost. You lost a daughter. You lost two daughters because you claim Maddie Mae as a daughter of your own. That's, of course, not talking about your actual other biological daughter that you dumped and abandoned, right? Let's not talk about that. He sounds very angry. Same face from Melissa, same face from Ann Taylor. Yes, the Lord will deal with that community. Evil never wins. The truth will always come out. I agree. The truth will always come out. But unfortunately, sometimes it comes out way too late. I've seen so many men that were incarcerated for 20 years, 30 years, 40 years, 50 years, and then the truth comes out. And it's like, I mean, their life was wasted, right? He's making an interesting point. He's talking about social media, how all of the girls shared everything, right? On social media. Be very careful. If you have young children, teach them how to use social media in an intelligent manner so that they remain safe because you never know who's watching, babes. You never know who's watching. Not everybody's watching you on social media because they love you. If anything, from what I have learned in my 10 years on YouTube, is that most people that watch me hate me. So be careful what you post on social media. And of course, we're not blaming the victims. He said nobody cares about him. Oh, you're crazy. You're crazy. So many people care about Brian Kohberger. So many people think that there's still something shady in this case. So many people know that this investigation was fucked up from the get-go. And so many people, not me personally, but a lot of people are obsessed with Brian. There was a girl who had a Reddit Brian Nation. Brian Nation. Obsessed. So many women obsessed with him. So that's a damn lie. We will forget you. I don't think so. I think he still has a lot of people on his side, and I wonder if he's going to appeal. Really? Steve, God bless all the hardworking people that worked on this case. You were just talking shit about everybody a few days ago. You were just talking about how you hated them, how the court backstabbed you because they didn't tell you about the plea deal and you wanted it to go to trial because you wanted the truth to come out. So which is it? Which is it? Nobody else is talking for the G fam? Just Steve, right? Oh, Steven Gonsalves, the same person who nodded when Steve G had mentioned, is it possible that Kaylee's ex-boyfriend is involved in this? Do you guys remember that? What was he doing? He was nodding. Steve Jr. was nodding, right? A lot of people have said, here comes Olivia on the Ozempic. I don't know. I don't know if she is or not. That was what was mentioned by a lot of people. I thought she wasn't going to talk because she didn't want attention. They were not yours to stalk. Remember, Bill Thompson said that there was no stalking. So what are you talking about, ma'am? Have you not been paying attention? Right? Yeah, she comes across as very angry, a lot like Steve, right? That's how some people, that's their go-to emotion, and that's anger, and that's a very dangerous emotion because you never know what people are going to do um, when they're fueled by anger. She's always been the one to fight the battles. What battles did Kaylee and Maddie have? I mean, they were in college. What is she talking about? And by the way, somebody mentioned that Olivia was incarcerated last year for DV. What kind of person is she? What kind of person is she? Yikes. Again, people who are involved in DV are violent, angry individuals. You know, I still have my own personal questions for Olivia. Like you were talking about how you had access to the camera in Kaylee's phone and XYZ. How did you get that before even the cops? You know? You know? Richard says, I'm not a Brian fan, but the truth is believes that Brian know why did this, doesn't pass the smell test. The stalker is a cop. Are you talking about the cop Rosenthal or are you talking about Payne? It doesn't look like Olivia's crying, right? But she sounds like she's stressed. Her voice sounds dry. Her lips sound dry. But she's doing her thing. She's standing up for her sister. She's throwing all her hatred and anger at Brian Kohberger. But in my opinion, I just have a feeling that Mr. Gonsalves believes that there is something that is not being told to them. That's why he was raving about all of this stuff being released, all of it going to trial. He wants more information. He said, how do you go from it being a targeted attack to not? Right? I won't feed your beast, she says. I will call you what you are, a sociopath, psychopath, murderer. which again would be in his neuropsychological evaluation, because we've seen it. We've seen his neuropsychological evaluation. He would have been diagnosed as one and it would be there. But we did not see that. We saw autism, we saw dexterity coordination disorder, and we saw anxiety and OCD, obsessive compulsive disorder, not antisocial personality disorder, which is AKA psychopathy, right? So she doesn't really know what she's talking about, but I get it. Most people who are not in the field of psychology don't really understand that psychopathy or sociopathy is not an actual diagnosis, but ASPD is the name of the diagnosis. Antisocial personality disorder, right? Why did you choose my sisters? I thought you didn't care. Olivia, you just said yesterday you weren't going to give him any attention. Here you are feeding the beast, right? Hey, Doc, welcome. Why did you pick my sisters? You failed at being a rapper? Why is she bringing all that stuff? Is she trying to bully him? She said, did you really think your Amazon purchase was untraceable because you used a gift card? That's the first time I've ever heard that. We know gift cards aren't untraceable. And again, this is a man who is working in the field of criminal psychology, who's there getting his PhD. He would know that, yes, this is a thing. This is all traced. Where is a murder weapon? Why do you want to know? Why do you need that closure? Again, you said you weren't going to give him any attention, that you were just going to get up there and talk about your sister. But here you are doing the opposite. You're asking him all these questions. Why? Because at the end of the day, Mr. Gonsalves is wrong. Mr. Gonsalves is saying, you brought us together. This made us better, made our community stronger. No, it broke you. It broke your family. It broke your daughter. You are now a divided family fueled by hatred and anger. You have built a community of, which I like to call the Gonzalez Army of Hate, because they're some of the most hateful, spiteful, vengeful people. And I'm like, I'm sorry, but that's scary. That is scary. Whether Kohberger did it or not, that mob mentality is very dangerous. Very dangerous. It shows how disgusting humans can become when they are angry, when they feel that they have been attacked or something has been ripped away from them. They can become the same thing. That's what's scary. And they don't see that. They're like, it's different because it's different. It's just different. They're trying to, make it seem that they're all put together, and that Kohberger is going to have to sit with this pain. If Kohberger actually did this, let's just pretend for a second. You think he gives a shit? I'm sorry. You think he gives a shit? If you deeply believe in your core that Kohberger did this, that he unalived 4 people in, I don't know, 4 minutes or whatever the timeline is now, it's like, and she's calling him a hypochondriac loser. Like, I feel like Olivia was very good at bullying. She just has that mean girl vibe to her. Like, she seems very, very good at that. Like, she's had some practice. You've had some practice, I think. And Brian Kohberger, nothing. Lurking in the shadows. Wasn't this man like having like all kinds of dates, and a bunch of his ex-girlfriends came up, Brian Kohberger's ex-girlfriends? So I don't think he was a loser. Brian, nothing. Just blinking. That's probably pissing her off. Because when bullies, because that's what she's doing. She's literally bullying, right? Whether you want to call it that or not. Um, she's saying you're basic. You're so basic. You're so insecure. You were tweaked out on heroin. Oh my God. You're so predictable. You're so shallow. Oh my God, you're not profound. You're pathetic. When people bully people like that, like he's doing or she's doing to him, they're trying to get a reaction. And here you have Brian Koberger like, blink, blink, blink. I know she's fucking pissed inside. No reaction. That's a good way to deal with a bully, by the way. FYI. If they're trying to pick on you, just don't give them a reaction. Or give them the same energy back. That's also a good one. You are so unprofound. You are so predictable, Brian. You are so boring, Brian. Oh my God. You were like tweaked out on heroin and you thought you were deep, lurking in the shadows. Oh my God. People are actually clapping for this. That shows the mob mentality, you know? People are thinking this is okay to do because, Brian Koberger did this, so it's okay for her to bully him. Brian Kohberger, same, no emotion. Not really sure. Well, I shouldn't say no emotion, but I'm saying his face, flat affect. Who's next? Ooh, that's Mama G. Oh my God, Mama G. Did she get work done? A lot of people have said that Olivia got her nose done. I don't know. I can't tell. People are saying that Mama G got work done, that she got bleach blonde, had work done, that allegedly they used, some of their funds to have some work done. I don't know. To me, I don't know. I can't tell. Oh, she's admitting it. Thank you. At least she's admitting that that he has shattered others, right? Unlike Mr. G. You stole my peace. You've altered my every waking moment. That is how you should, uh, you shouldn't, in my opinion, you shouldn't feel that the world is like a safe place, especially with social media. I'm telling you, no judgment here. I know a lot of young people are on social media, but it's so important to teach our young college students, our children to be safe on social media. And if you're living in a sorority house, like close your window, bro. Nobody should be able to see you changing from the street because your curtains or your blinds are always open. I thought this was basic safety information 101. Guess not. Guess not. This is basic safety 101. Don't leave your blinds and windows open. There's way too many creeps. This is well known. Okay. Teach this to your kids. For God's sake, teach this to your children. Couldn't even get a female to look at your direction. What are you talking about? Have you seen some of the girls he dated when they were in high school? Very pretty blonde girl. Oh, I'm confident that the men in prison will have their ways with you. You always get what you wanted, physical touch. Oh my God. She's scary. She's scary. Is she threatening him? That sounds like threats. That sounds like she's threatening Brian Kohberger. He'll be forgotten, discarded, used, and erased. I highly doubt that. Whether he did this or not, look, if he didn't do this, and people that believe that he didn't do this, they're going to continue to fight for him. They're not going to forget about him. That we know that there's years of documentaries, docuseries, books to be written about Brian Kohberger. And if he did do this, guess what? Psychologists are going to want to study. Criminal psychologists, especially, are going to want to study him. So I don't think that she's right about him being forgotten. Hell will be waiting. Ooh. You may receive A's in college, but you're going to be getting big D's in prison. Oh my God. What's wrong with them? They are full of hate and anger. That's all I know. Brian, same, same face. Shannon Gray, the GFAM attorney. People in the chat are saying, I feel so sorry for his parents. Just me? Yes, OG Chance, just you, babe. Because most people here are picking the GFAM apart. They want them sued. They want them to pay for the psychologist, for the therapist, for Dylan. What? That's crazy. And people are saying, oh my God, that was the best victim speech ever, talking about big D's in prison. At the end of the day, who lost? Who lost? Even if he is getting big D's in prison, but if he actually did it, who lost more? Be honest with me, please. The GFAM or Brian Kohberger? If he, let's pretend he actually is the one who committed the crime. Who loses more? The Gonsalves family, of course, or any of the victims, right? Because that person is gone forever. They're gone forever. There's 4 victims here that are gone forever. Those families are never going to be the same again. Even if whoever is incarcerated and they're getting beat up or getting big D's in prison for 90 years or 1,000 years, you are still more broken as a parent who lost a child than a person in jail is ever going to be. I'm just letting you know right now. Especially if they actually committed the crime. Burn in hell. Ooh, grandmas. The GFAM grandmas are angry, saying Brian Kohberger should burn in hell. I think a lot of people I think a lot of people here are very angry, obviously, at Kohberger, and they are not ever going to open their minds and address the fact that maybe he didn't do it. There's other 4 sources of unknown DNA at that house. Demonic urges, bro. We don't even know if this man did it yet. It was only touch DNA. Again, touch DNA is not allowed in military courts because it's trash. And it's not allowed in most courts in other countries because it's trash. Here we have a man with a tiny bit of his touch DNA at this house. But they don't want us to talk about the other DNA, right? You're definitely a demon from hell, says the Gonsalves army, the Gonsalves grandma. I wonder what Ann Taylor and Alyssa are thinking about right now. Why does the judge look so pale today? He looks like paper white. Like more than usual. Cheryl Gonsalves, Kaylee's other grandma. What does she have to say? Probably some more religious. Oh, I was right. Light shines in the darkness. Saying that he has darkness and he was drawn to Kaylee because she was so bright. And that's why he was drawn to her to unalive her. In my opinion, Xana had that brightness to her more so than anybody else. Boy, they like throwing that hell word around. Be careful of what you wish for. Exactly. Exactly, right? And also, doesn't the Bible say not to judge others? So that's the job of God to do. I'm just saying. I don't really know. I'm all for religion, but if you are religious or not, but a lot of people will use religion to make themselves appear morally superior. No, not everybody, but a lot of people will. A lot of people will. Yes, exactly. Birdies and furry. That's a perfect comment. Many people come from Monty Python and they just join the stone thrower. They don't care about the truth. Exactly. That's all they want to do. Person wants to throw stone. Hey, there's Brian Kohberger. Let's do it. Why did people only clap for the Gonsalves family? Why? Is it because this was hateful, spiteful commentary towards Brian? Nobody else clapped for Maddie Mogan, uh, for anybody else, right? And the Chapins, I don't see them. Are they even there? Are they even there? I feel like we've been here, oh my God, an hour 14. Court will resume shortly. He will be placed on suicide watch and be in protective custody. I sure hope that he is in protective custody because, again, this case, a lot of people don't think that he actually did it. And it's all very suspicious. You can't just incarcerate somebody like that. And we know that, well, allegedly Ethan was carved into, right? There's no other way to say it, right? And here's a comment made by Luann Pafford saying, cutting Ethan's hamstrings further speaks to his depravity. Another man was an affront to his masculinity. And I'm like, okay, again, like, there's no time for that. The timeline doesn't fit. It doesn't fit. We're supposed to believe that he committed this crime by himself for the first time, never has had a criminal offense or history of violence, commits this crime in like 8 minutes, doesn't leave any DNA, but there's other sources of blood DNA in the house from other people. Those were not tested. Then we are told by the state that somebody cut into Ethan's legs. I'm like, okay, so he did all of this in 4 minutes and still had time to carve Ethan's legs. And it was also mentioned that he sat in a stool and watched them suffer. Like, that was theorized. I'm like, again, how do you have time for this in 8 minutes? You don't. So somebody is not telling us something, right? I am also disgusted by the comments made by the Gonzalez. I think it really shows the type of person that Olivia is in. And we know that she has a history of DV, right? Right? So that tells me the type of person that she could be, that she has a potential of being. If you've actually, looked into her past, we can have a pretty decent picture of the type of person that she is or could be. And it's scary. And to me, what's more scary is how quickly people pretend that that's not a big deal. I'm like, bro, it's DV. It's DV, right? Like somebody who does that, I'm not blaming all of their personality on one act, but like it's a big fucking deal that shouldn't just be overlooked. You shouldn't just overlook that. That is a big deal. It shows, in my opinion, issues with self-control. It shows a lot of anger, and it just shows somebody who is very impulsive and does whatever they want whenever they want. And that is, in my opinion, a dangerous person, right? Not to say that what the families are going through is not horrible. I wouldn't wish that upon my worst enemy. I would not. But we're not that type of people here, right? We're not depraved. And seeing these comments made by Olivia, made by the Gonsalves daughters, tells me the type of people that they could be in the real world. They come across as bullies to me with just that commentary alone. And that just makes my brain loop back to the 4chan theories of allegedly Maddie and Kaylee being bullies, that they were allegedly known bullies. I don't know if they were. I wasn't there. I didn't know them. But a lot of people have speculated that they were. And now, listening to the comments made by Olivia, made by the other sister, I mean, it seems like all that anger, all that hatred, all those very bullying comments came out very naturally, right? Yes, yes. DMB Chai says the mean girl persona came off way too easy. Yes, it did. Thank you. That's literally what I just said, and I'm glad somebody else caught that. That's not a good thing, by the way. It's not a good thing. When you're a mean girl and it comes off that easily, it leads us to believe that you are that way in the real world, that is your default setting, right? AKW, thank you so much. Hello, my past hot vintage. I just shared you to my daughter because you think logically. Thank you so much. Unfortunately, most of us, most humans do not think logically. They allow their emotions to take over, right? So it's dangerous. DMB says, had to switch over to Nika. Everyone else is pissing me off. I'm so sorry. I hope they're not. I'm sure that they're all like, oh my God, look at Brian. His body language. Again, this is a man who's probably on a cocktail of medications. Probably the most traumatizing day of his life. And his body language isn't going to match anything that's going on. Not to mention he has autism, he has anxiety, he has obsessive compulsive disorder, right? Yes, and that's what's scary to me, that they're saying Olivia is so amazing, because I see this at work all the time, right? Like the Mean Girls, like why is that applauded? Why is that applauded? Everywhere I've ever worked at, where there is a mean girl, it doesn't matter what she looks like. If she's a bully, there's always a little clan of people following them around. Like, oh my gosh, she says what's on her mind. She's so cool. I'm like, bro, she literally just called somebody morbidly obese and made a grown man cry. This is actually happening, right? In a place I used to work at. How are grown adults applauding this type of behavior is beyond me. Yes, it's giving narcissistic abuse too. Yes, it is. And again, the fact that people are applauding this doesn't actually surprise me. I expected this because we've seen in any case, in any criminal trial, when somebody is being sentenced, doesn't matter who, there's always a clan of angry individuals, just like the majority, right? Mob mentality. And they're like, I want to throw my stone at that person too. Ah, it's like they unite. Hatred unites a lot of people, unfortunately, right? And if you're logical and you don't like to bully others and you're just logical because you're probably neurodivergent or because you're just logical, yeah, you're not going to do so hot in those settings with those type of people. Exactly. You can see how the Salem witch trials happened. And that's why it's so important to know history, because so many people don't understand history, don't understand like this is common. We see this all the time, right? This is nothing new. Amelia, welcome. What got me is when the lawyer for the family said, your female defense attorney sat by your side. I mean, he just had to bring them up too when the defense should not be brought up. Exactly. Why did you need to bring them up? AKW says, or empath, right? Ooh, an empath is even worse because empaths will definitely get stomped on by most people, right? Low class compared to Ethan's family. I agree. I agree. It was just, in my opinion, and people are gonna, I know I'm gonna get hate for this, but it came across as very trashy, very trashy. That is the least classiest comment I've ever heard somebody give to, you know, to Brian, to anybody. And people were saying girls got taste. What? That's crazy. That's insane to me. And people are so like like separated from what's actually going on. Like we're watching from our houses, right? We're watching from our houses. We're watching on our phones, whatever, on our $50 computer now, $100 10-year-old laptop. But people are like, yeah, kill Brian. And then they're like, well, now I want a ham sandwich. I want Oreos and milk after that. It's like, that's how depraved we have become as a society. And I know a lot of haters, a lot of guilters are like, no, this is what he should get. That's what he needs. But I'm like, I can't do that. As a human who is a logical thinker, I need to see the actual evidence. I need to see more evidence that he was there, that he committed the crime. Because if you're a logical individual and you're scrolling through the legal documents, there are several puzzle pieces missing. You know, so it's scary to think how many people are so like devolved. I don't know if that's the appropriate word to use, but from my point of view, they're devolved. They're not even human anymore. It's like animals, and that's all you have to really do to devolve a person, right? To like revert them to something that's not human anymore. That's just like a piece of flesh with red juice running through their veins, and they're just exactly what Stargate Sleuth is saying. They are just angry, they are narcissistic, they are ego driven, they are hateful, they are spiteful, low IQ activities. They can't think for themselves. You know, they have to use ChatGPT basically just to form a coherent sentence. Like, it's not good. Um, and those people are the first to fall into mob mentality. And mob mentality means that you have one angry person with a pitchfork starts chanting, or, you know, whatever, and then everybody else follows without even using a brain cell. Just scary. Amelia says, be mad, be upset that your loved one is gone, but when it crosses the line of threatening and the judge says nothing, that's a little bit scary. That's a bit scary. And we heard Mr. Gonsalves say a lot of things in the past to the news. Basically, to me, it sounded like he was threatening Brian Kohberger, like he was going to have him handled while he was incarcerated, and nobody bats an eye. That's scary. DMB says, I would be such a truth searcher if it were for my family. If it were my family member, I don't care what people say, that you don't know until you are there. I know what kind of person I am. They're fine with this being the weird guy. Exactly. Richard Lyon, 1111, thank you so much. Can I like this and pin this? Let's see, I don't think I've ever done it from my laptop. Pin. Thank you so much. I don't know how to pin it from the laptop. Thank you, Richard. I appreciate the super chat. Aunt B, welcome. Kitties in the City says, off topic, but you should be a model. Oh, thank you. You know what's crazy? I get that comment a lot at work. And I don't know how to feel about it yet. I don't know how to feel about. I had a woman last week mention, and again, this is off topic because you brought it up. A woman mentioned, I would never know that you're a scientist just based on how you look. You just look like a model. And I was like, if you understood how many bullies I have at work because of my looks, like there's so many women who are on YouTube talking about pretty privilege. It's like you don't understand what it's like to be conventionally attractive and also be just like somebody who doesn't get involved with bullies and stuff. You just kind of put your head down and work. It really triggers people. So now I'm thinking about it. I'm like, I don't think I want to be in a toxic environment, right? And I'm like, maybe I should model. Because when this woman made this comment in front of another coworker, this is what my coworker said. She turned around and was like, well, she's not that pretty. She's not that pretty. And the woman was like, corrected her and was like, when I was that age, I also used to get comments like that. And it was usually from women who were narcissistic and had low self-esteem. And my coworker was just like, oh. I was like, yeah, I do get a lot of hate comments from a lot of the women here where I work at. Yeah, it's not fun. I don't recommend it. Thank you so much for the kind comments. Jealousy is a bully's natural defense system. It is, but it doesn't make me feel better about, it doesn't make me feel better that that's their defense system. And it gets to be a lot that I'm just like, should I just like do YouTube full time? I'm literally like this close to leaving my research job. Right? Huddy R, what do you specialize in? It just varies. Mostly cancer research. But I'm like, again, I'm this close to just leaving my work because of the women have made it so insufferable. Guys, I'm like older, so this is not anything new. Like I'm just tired. It's been too many decades of job hopping to deal with bullies. Are we back in sesh? Here's Brian Kohberger in the orange jumpsuit looking, he's all chains, hands, waist. He's smiling. It looked like Ann Taylor was smiling. What? The Kernodles are talking. Is that Brian kind of smiling there? No. I wonder if Ann Taylor and Alyssa have something up their sleeve with Brian Kohberger. It just makes me wonder. I can't hear you, Xana. I mean, Kernodle's sister. Sorry. She looks a lot like Xana. It threw me off. I can't hear you, babe. There she goes. You don't deserve power over my feelings. Okay. There it goes. They fixed this volume issues. This moment isn't about you, she says. It's about justice. In my opinion, if anybody there really wanted justice, you would be testing the 4 sources of unknown male DNA. If I were a sister, a brother, a father, a mother, that would always sit with me. Who does that DNA belong to? I want to know. I want everybody incarcerated that was there, right? In my opinion, I agree with Xana's sister. She just seemed like she got along very well with everybody. She doesn't give bully vibes. She just seems super chill. And to me, she's the one that just had that brightness to her, that she just looked like a lovely individual, like somebody I would want to hang out with. I mean, I'm way older, but you know. This is interesting for me to hear her because we haven't heard a lot, right, about the Kernodles. We haven't heard a lot from them, I should say. So she says, surrender yourself to Jesus Christ. Well, we've heard that Brian Kohberger is allegedly very religious and comes allegedly from a very religious household, right? We've heard that. So please let me know, guys. I've asked it earlier, but I don't know if all of you guys were here. Is that Detective Brett Payne behind Bill Thompson? On that first row. There's like 2 women, and then there's a bald guy that looks a lot like Payne. Is that Payne? Xana's story, the legacy her family will protect. Now, I've heard a lot about Xana's mom that apparently she turned her life to Jesus Christ. How is she doing? Allegedly, she's very sober and doing very well, and that's great. But her past, right when the crime was right around the time the crime took place, there was a lot of things going on regarding rug trafficking, right? It is Pain. Thank you so much for clarifying. And that's Xana's dad. She's gone. Oh, he's talking about when Xana was little and they would go out for drives together. That's cute. Hitler is what's wrong with Hitler? He keeps like swiping his face and he looks extra pale. Is he having blood sugar issues over there? Is his blood pressure okay? Somebody check on Hitler. That man's acting weird today. I've never seen him be emotional except for the fact that he rolls his eyes when Ann Taylor and Alyssa spoke in the past, and now he's over here crying and wiping his forehead sweat or whatever. I don't know what's going on. I'm just wondering, are the Chapins gonna talk? Are they gonna talk? Sounds like Xana was very loving. She would call on call her parents, call her dad, and be like, "Hey, are you okay? What's going on, Dad?" I just don't have enough evidence to convict Brian. You know, is Mark Zuckerberg sitting on the bench? Kind of looks like him. Another ad. Oh my goodness. Judge is still crying? What? He's still wiping his nose? Come on now. I just I'm having a hard time believing this. I just don't believe it. I just don't. It's throwing me off. Vic Barlow. She falling asleep over there? No, she's not. They're talking about Xana going to college and preparing her to go into the world. Then Xana didn't finish college. Or Xana finished college. What did he say? And again, we have never really heard a lot from the Carnotals. So for me, this is like, I'm paying close attention because these people are, in my opinion, the opposite of the G fam, where the G fam is like, they do a lot. They do a lot, in my opinion, to be the center of attention. And by the way, the Gonzalez said that they were going to be returning some of the money that was raised in the GoFundMe's. Have they returned that yet? Because a lot of people that donated were like, "Where's our money? Where is our money? We donated for the trial, and yeah, there's not going to be a trial, so we want our money back." Did they start donating yet? Alyssa has a disgusted look on her face. Huddy says, "Well, you definitely don't give molecular biologists, immunologists, or cancer biologists vibes, especially being a Navy woman too. It takes years to earn those degrees." Female Benjamin Button, you're funny. Thank you. Yeah. Well, when you have high IQ, like, you know, you can accomplish a lot, but also don't watch a lot of TV. Also, exercise. So, AK AKW says, is Mark. Oh, I saw that comment. Lynn says, I caught you live. Always a pleasure to hear your thought out opinions. I work in stem cell. You don't need like a 12-year degree for that, by the way. You're silly. See how a lot of people are jealous? They're jealous and they just jump to conclusions. You don't need a 12-year degree to work with stem cells. You silly dork. You silly Willy thing. He's part of the system, Nika. Has to make it look good. Who are you referring to, Richard? Are you referring to Brian? AKW, this would be brutal to set through if you were innocent. Yeah, it would be. Yeah, that was gross, right? Sydney, the fact that people are applauding for Brian to get S8 in prison, that's disgusting. It tells you a lot about these people, in my opinion, right? Kat said, I can't believe how many untruths were said in the statements from the Gonsalves family. And the guy who made the woman defense comment, the swearing in prison, grape jokes, all seems very problematic. I'm disgusted by the comments that were made by the G fam. I'm surprised that they were not actually checked before. I feel like they should have been checked. Or maybe they were checked and Judge Hippler said, screw it, because it is what it is. It's a day of sentencing. We'll let them say whatever. That's disgusting, right? And especially if Brian Kohberger is innocent, like you have to sit there and take all this disgusting commentary from a family that hates you, has threatened to get you unalived. It's gross. Amelia says, I follow their Facebook just because they're bullshit that they pull, and they shared a screenshot that they couldn't send the money back because they don't know who sent them the money. That is a bunch of BS, because we know that GoFundMe's, if you want to return the money, they will do so automatically. Okay, they send it to the account automatically of the person that sent it. So yeah, that's a load of crap. I think that just sounds like a scam, right? Which I kind of figured from the get-go. Stargate Sleuth says, Nika, no, the money is needed to conduct a civil suit to flush out the victims and involved parties. Oh, I see. How is this allowed? Yeah, how is this allowed? Because Judge Hippler allowed it, right? And they are not supposed to address the defendant directly. But what did we see Steve do? He literally he moved the entire desk so that he could look at him in. Oh my gosh, I'm glad that somebody has some common sense here in the court TV live. Slapdash says jailhouse justice is wrong. People should not be advocating for that. What is wrong with America? Thank you, Slapdash, for that commentary. Somebody has common sense, at least in that chat. He's one of the few, right? Sad how many of these families have been affected by addiction. It's the hardcore truth about small towns in America. Thanks for letting me vent. I have to go back to work. Have a good day at work, Kat. Can't wait to catch the full replay later. C. Zena says that civil suit is why I believe SG statements are always contradictory. He can't sue if he openly goes after the DA during the trial phase. Exactly. She's saying we have friends and family who we didn't even know we have. But I'm like, yeah, because hatred unites people, unfortunately. And she says she's forgiven Brian because she can't live with that hate in her heart. Brian nods. And anytime you want to talk and tell me what happened, I'm here. No judgment. Oh my gosh, yes. Yes, tell her what happened. If you know what happened, I mean, She's gonna be that one. Oh my god, a woman with a heart. A woman with a heart. A woman with a heart. I'm shocked. A woman with a brain cell. She's gonna get hatred from everybody in the chat. I can see it. They're not gonna like that. You know, you have to want Kohberger unalive. You can't have empathy towards Brian. A woman with a heart. Wow. Wow. What do you know? That is what class looks like. Oh my gosh, exactly. Not commonly seen, right? That is a classy woman, not only classy, but just, oh my God, that says everything we need to know about her. You know, that's amazing. And do you think she's going to get a clap? Let me know before these two finish talking. Do you think she's going to get a clap like the Mean Girl Gonsalves statements got? Because everybody in that courtroom clapped for them, right? Well, not everybody, but like 90%. I don't think they're going to clap for them. Let's see. Okay, okay, okay. Some claps, but not a lot. Wasn't Gonsalves family level of clapping? So it was a third of the claps. Again, most people don't have class. This is a very emotional situation. And they want Kohberger gone. And here comes this woman who's like, I'll listen to you. You can talk to me. I forgive you. Who is this? I can't see him. Well, that's smart. If you have angry comments, evil comments like that, don't say them out loud. And here he is sharing the comments saying, I'm talking to them, not to you, Brian, not to you. You're not part of the group, right? This evil thing. He's not even human anymore to these people. So I can teach you about loss and pain. He wants to be in the woods with him. Yikes. He says, I wouldn't kill you. Well, that's good. That's good. Don't say that because then if something does happen to Brian, you don't want that on record. That's for sure. But we know how most of these people feel, you know. They're full of hate, full of rude, mean comments for Mr. Kohberger. Xana's mom. Here we go. She's saying the letter is to Brian. Really? I thought that in the early days, Kara thought that Brian didn't do it. Right? What happened? She changed her mind just because? Kara knows AT will find the truth. Does she? But she sounds like she's really pinning this on Brian Kohberger. I don't know. She said God has given her the strength to forgive. Brian Kohberger. That's good because he probably didn't do it, right? And if he did, let's see the evidence. What do you guys think happened for Kara to switch her mind? Because I thought in the early days, wasn't she saying, maybe I'm wrong, but wasn't she saying she thought Brian Kohberger wasn't the one? Didn't she make mention of the sororities, the fraternities? Kat says, I can't believe how many untruths were said in the statements. Swearing in prison jokes. That's one of my favorite comments here. I love it. Lynn says, I'm pretty sure Brian never felt part of the group, and I'm guessing on purpose. People are mean. Yeah, they are. And statistics show that people who are neurodivergent are the most bullied throughout life. It's like 8 to 10 times more or something crazy because our peers can like whiff us out. They can smell us out. They can sense that we are different. So we are more likely to be bullied. So, I mean, yeah, most neurodivergent people are not part of the group on purpose because we're usually uh, social outcast on purpose. They make us be this way on purpose, right? That being said, some are better to kind of get over that. So, some of us are more resilient in becoming this, but everybody is different, right? People are saying, I could never forgive. I would never forget. Allison Kelly says, wasting your time trying to teach him something because she's talking about religion and that's what he needs, right? He needs Jesus, basically. But Kara just found Jesus, right? Kara has an actual criminal past, unlike Brian Kohberger. So it's very problematic for me when I see people up here getting all preachy, like, you need Jesus. That's what you need. You need Jesus, ma'am. That's great, to push religion if that's what you want to do. But again, you've lived a life of crime. This is not us judging her. This is just pointing out the blatant truth. And yeah, right. Cara says she's praying for him. It's like you just found Jesus, bro. I'm glad for you. I'm glad you're clean. I'm glad you're turning your life around. I hope it remains that way. I really do. I really do. That is the best for everybody. That is the best for Kara's family members. That's best for society. We want clean individuals that are happy, you know? That's great. But at the same time, you're up here talking smack about Brian, saying, Brian, you should find Jesus when forever life had a past of crime. So if he needs to find Jesus, let him find Jesus on his own, like you did, right? But I think Kara means well. Somebody said he doesn't know God. Please send him to Sona, prison break prison. No, I do not pray for this devil. Ooh, that's crazy, because shouldn't we be praying for everybody? Interesting how people love to use religion to say this is not, we don't pray for devils, he's a devil. No, he's a human being. Is anybody going to say anything for Ethan? Is anybody going to say anything for Ethan? Is Mr. Kohberger going to make a statement? What's going on? Okay, Bill Thompson, get on with your silly face. Yes, Amelia, perfect point. And that's great, right? If you have a criminal past or criminal addictions and that's what you need religion to stabilize you, that's great. Good for you. Good for you. But from what we've heard, Kohberger has a religious past, very religious mom, right? Is that true? Is that false? Let me know in the chat. Is Ethan's family going to go there? We've heard different things. We know that they keep Ethan's ashes in their basement, right? We heard in one of the docu-series, Ethan's dad is saying, we keep his ashes in the basement. Yeah. And then I go down there and talk to him whenever I want to, right? People turn to religion because Jesus saves them. Yeah, it saves them from their horrible things that they're going through, right? A lot of people don't find religion unless they're going through something really tough. Like that's like the last straw. And they're like, let me turn to religion. And that's great. And that's great. Bill is saying, okay, just double checking here. He knows what he's doing. We're sentencing him. People are complaining he should have been made to give an accurate and extensive confession. Why isn't he confessing? He doesn't need to confess if the court isn't asking. He doesn't need to do that. I am ready to hear Brian speak. Is he going to say anything? Is he going to shock us? Is he going to rock our world? The biggest sin is forgiveness. Jesus said, how am I to forgive you if you can't forgive? Go away. I don't know you. Yeah, we should all forgive. Yes, they all had a chance to ask why, and they only spoke about themselves. They only spoke about themselves. Exactly. Exactly. Everyone in the courtroom knows? WTF. Bill Thompson talking out of his ass again. Well, I'm glad Hitler stopped crying. Okay. Bill Thompson says he talked about the status of the case with all the families, but the G's are saying you didn't let them know about him getting a plea deal. And that he asked them for their thoughts. I think he's covering his ass regarding Steve Gonsalves. He's saying there was a difference of opinion. Yes, there was. The Gonsalves did not want to plea. They wanted a trial. Maybe to pocket the money from the GoFundMe's. I don't know. Because now people are saying they want their money back. And are they going to return it? I don't know. Or was it because the GFAM really wanted information to be released? Maybe subconsciously they know that there's something up in this case. That things don't make sense. People are saying, I'm glad the surviving roommates don't have to testify. I wish they did. I want to hear their story. Alyssa is smiling as Bill Thompson is saying, just plead guilty to all counts. They're saying, just plead guilty. They're saying he was prepared to say that he was guilty. No motion from the defense, but we see Alyssa smiling. Does she have a smile on her face? Does she have a smirk on her face? Amelia, it's a small town. Small towns are notorious for corruption because nobody is watching. Tell me about a girlfriend. I used to live in Delphi, Indiana. Okay. There's only one way to describe small towns, and they are children of the corn-esque. If you know what I'm talking about. Children of the corn-esque. And if you are an outsider, as I was, they will immediately be like, why? What are you doing here? Are you from here? What's your last name? Who's your family? Who are your parents? You know, because if you're an outsider, they're not going to have your back unless you make like some big money or you hold a position of power. That was my personal experience. Latanya Anderson says the father knew what was up with his son. The family visited him because they know the coward he is, that he will not be on earth long. That's evil. Well, how do you know, Latanya Anderson, that he's not going to be on earth long? How do you know that? Is that like some indirect threat, or are you like a mind reader, or like, do you know the future, or you're just talking smack on court TV live chat here, right? The outcome of this trial doesn't matter if new evidence comes up about alternate perpetrators in a civil trial. The other perps could throw this whole trial under the bus. I want to know about the other sources of unknown male DNA. We know there was blood from other people at the house. The fact that everybody and their mama is overlooking that is extremely disturbing to me. Bruh. IDAHO Department of Correction, right? You mean IDAHO? Why did one camera just shut off? Oh, there's Maddie, modeling Maddie. Very pretty. She looks just like her mama, by the way. Oh my god, they're like twins. Very cute, very cutesy. Kaylee, what? I thought that the Gonsalves had said that the favorite picture of Kaylee was the one where she's in that bikini, right? Isn't that what Ma'am Gonsalves said? Why did they pick that picture where Kaylee's all covered up? I've never even seen that picture, but whatever. She looks good, right? Oh my god. Xana is gorgeous. Brunettes. Gosh. She's so cute. Is that sobbing in the background? Ethan. I really get upset when they show this picture of Ethan because this is like an old picture. Show a picture, an updated picture of Ethan. But I feel so bad because almost nobody mentions Ethan. Nobody cares about the men when men are unalive, statistically speaking. Everybody pays attention to the cute blondes, but if there's a man that is deleted off planet Earth, nobody gives a damn. And that's so heartbreaking to me because men are amazing individuals as well, right? As I'm sure Ethan was. So they're showing the pictures. I hear sobbing in the background. Pain over there. Pain drawing a little tear. Drawing a little tear off your eye. I don't know. Pain. Did you fuck this investigation up, sir? And again, we're both military veterans. So part of me respects that. But the other part of me is like, you really fucked this up, bro. Detective Payne. Detective Payne, please tell me who, another ad, who do the 4 unknown male DNA belong to? Did you ever bother to test that? No? Oh, okay, thank you. Thanks, Detective Payne. Bro, what? See, S. Zena says, I'll never get past the choice to use trace DNA. Trace DNA is a sham and not the blood DNA. And even worse is that the public knew nothing of its existence until this year. But the public is, it's over their head. They're like, we don't even know. Unfortunately, right? Some of them are not even paying attention. Some of them are not even aware there's unknown DNA at this house. I see Alyssa smiling. Ann Taylor had a mini smirk. It's gone now. Ryan Kohberger, same look. Who's calling me? Don't call me. Ooh, burn. Sydney says, Detective Payne. Detective Payne. How did you know Brent Kopaka? Don't lie under oath, sir. Yeah, some don't even know this trial exists. But the ones that do know about the trial don't know about the DNA. Isn't that crazy? They think they know about this trial, a lot of people. They think they know, oh, yeah, that pale guy with the bushy eyebrows totally did it. But they are unaware of all the other evidence that was found at the crime scene that was not tested. Bill Thompson, why are you, is he really crying or is he fake crying? The picture that was plastered all over social media where all 6 of them are posing, right? I wouldn't say consistently because some of the people online made some very angry remarks, very fudged up remarks regarding some of the victims. So, no, it's not consistent. You pick and choose, right? A lot of people have left a lot of hateful comments about the victims. You know, they were saying that these girls were bullies, that they were mean girls. Um, Even Maddie's ex-boyfriend mentioned that, Maddie cared a lot about her looks. Like she was very proud of her looks and that was like her priority. Uh I don't know. We don't really know anybody. And again, we know that there is this belief in our country, within our culture, that we can't speak bad about people who have passed away. And that's very unfortunate because I think it paints this fake picture of people that is like unattainable. None of us are perfect. None of us are always consistently bright and happy and whatever. We all have our times and we all have our flaws. I like the cultures that embrace the human as they are, right? Like when they pass away, they're like, yeah, she used to, always get angry because of this, and she would get moody because of that other thing. But at the end of the day, she was this person. But here in America, we portray people who have passed away as perfect. Nobody's perfect, right? So I wonder what their flaws were. Um, if some of those rumors, the inconsistencies. Bill Thompson says all the comments regarding the victims have been consistently positive. No, that's a lie. They have not been. We've all seen the threads. We've all seen the messages that were left in their pictures. We've all seen the 4chan theories talking bad about a lot of these girls, especially the girls. Is it going to make a statement? Is Brian Kohberger going to make a statement? I respectfully decline. Yes. Yes, he declined. And Taylor's assuring him, like, yes. That's good. That's good. Have you noticed that the Leda County likes to alter their photos? You can see, yes, they sure do. Right? They always make him look like different. Dark eyes, dark hair. It's like his hair is brown and he's got bright blue eyes. What is Judge saying? Thanking the counsel. Alyssa's smiling. And Taylor is not. Brian is not. Bill Thompson playing with his beard over there. And an ad. Great. Come on. I've been here too long already. Oh my gosh, 215 hours of my life. He declined to make a statement. Why? Maybe because he didn't do it. Right? Maybe because he plans to appeal. Who committed this unspeakable evil was unknown for several weeks, he says. But due to his incompetence, he's trying to burn him, like, burn, you left your sheath behind. Brian, same, no movement. Alyssa, smiling. This is gonna be crazy after. Is it? I think we're almost done here, guys. Oh my goodness. By the way, this is like my very first. Oh, what is this called? Like a live stream with the sentencing. Um, I couldn't get the live to pull up on my laptop at the same time. It was like destroying the laptop. It's an ancient laptop. Remember that. But if you guys enjoyed this, I know it's a little bit, I don't plan to do this a lot just because it's weird. If you like this, leave a like, leave a comment in the chat, leave a comment in the comment section. Make sure you like, make sure you subscribe. Any person who is a parent defines themselves foremost, what, as such, what? As their children? Like, as far as their children? Oh, being a parent is their existence and purpose of being? And it has been stolen from these parents. I'm sorry, but Mr. Gonsalves willingly abandoned his daughter, his biological daughter. So I'm torn. Right? Nobody likes to talk about that. People are saying he's so proud of what he's done and he has no remorse. He's an evil entity. That's scary. I think it's very easy to brainwash people. Very easy. BK was blinking a lot to Maddie's grandma. I think he was friends with Maddie on Instagram. To him, that is someone he cared about. And Kaylee's sister was off her rocker. Yeah, she was. Oh my God. She's scary. That mean girl vibe came off naturally. And didn't Olivia have a domestic violence record? I can't say it because they don't like that word here and it'll get suppressed. But doesn't she have a record? So we have an idea of the type of personality traits that she carries. Ricky says, why is the brunette defense lawyer smiling? She's very tone deaf. Maybe because she knows her client is innocent. Or maybe because that's her to go face. I've seen like her face since the very early days. That was like her face all the time. It's like, get to it, Judge Hippler. He was like looking at his watch the whole time the Mogans were talking. When Ben Mogan was talking, he's literally looking at his clock like, oh my God, is this man gonna hurry or what? But here he is. These survivors carry this responsibility. Well, they didn't carry the responsibility when they should have called 911. Dylan didn't carry the responsibility when she saw Xana face down, assuming she was passed out and she could have called the cops. She didn't carry the responsibility there. Right? We are now certain who committed these acts of evil. Are we, though? I don't think so, sir. I don't think so. I want to know who to the other 4 sources of unknown male DNA belong to. He says, we don't know why he did it, though. We know who did it, but we don't know why. He says, this is my opinion. By continuing to focus on why we make him relevance, we give him power. That he craves attention, power, control. They're asking him, they didn't really ask him why. Did not ask him not one person asked him why. This is crazy. He's basically saying Brian just wants the attention. He's an attention whore. He wants us to ask the why, so we're not going to. Even if you ask the why, you can't force him to talk, like he said. And even if he did talk, we still don't know if he was actually involved because this case was a mess from the get-go. They had Detective Payne in charge of this investigation, somebody who had no training in this type of investigation, and they gave it to Detective Payne. No. And even if he did do it, or him and other people did it, why would people think that he would even be honest, right? The people that commit these types of crimes are very rarely honest. They're not just gonna open up magically and tell you why. Oh shit. Judge is saying, there was a judge who used to always say positive things about the defendant, but I can't. Not even his penmanship. There's nothing good about Brian Kohberger. There's nothing human about them. Again, dehumanizing him. Is that even legal? The type of comments that he's making, right? He is literally dehumanizing Brian Kohberger. That's crazy. He's saying there's no regret and that even his penmanship is bad. What? Wow, judge. Again, this is the judge who has sided with corrupt law enforcement. I've talked about this case in the past. I'll try to find the video I made and pin it in the description. Count 1, burglary. 10 years fixed. Not a blink, nothing. Count 2, Madison Mogan. $5,000 to the family of Maddie. Life in prison without the possibility of parole, right? $50,000 fine, and then a $5,000 to the victim family. That's a penalty to the family of the victim. Same thing for Xander Kernodle. Whew. That's a lot of money. That's a lot of life in jail. Ethan Chapin. Life in prison without the possibility of parole, $50,000 fine, civil penalty fine of $5,000 payable to the family. He's going to have to share his DNA so that it's in the DNA database. Isn't it already there? Haven't they already put his information in there in the database? I thought they would have. Yes, although he's waived to appeal, he has a right to file the notice to appeal. Do you think he's going to? I think he's going to. He's got a few days. Time is ticking, Brian. You better start filing that paperwork if you didn't actually do this. Judge is asking the media and the family should be escorted out first before they leave. I hope people don't lose their mind when they're exiting. Again, this is a very tense case. We saw how Mr. Gonsalves literally turned his desk to face Brian Kohberger. Okay, it's gonna be. This is where my concerns come in, right? I gotta go, guys. I've literally been on here for 2:30. I've never done this before. I happen to be sick. I'm actually sick. I have a fever, but I called in from work. But let me know if you enjoyed this. I have to go. I feel like my fever is rising again. So that's a lot of money he owes. Is he gonna pay it? Probably not. Why would you pay it if you're gonna be in prison? And if he appeals, maybe he doesn't ever have to pay, right? So I pray that everybody stays safe. If you are there in Idaho, stay safe. Make sure to keep an eye on your surroundings. Stay safe in social media. And I'm hoping that Mr. Kohberger and the Kohberger family is safe as well. We've heard the Kohberger family has gotten a lot of threats. We've seen the comments in this Court TV live. People are losing their minds. People are coming after the Kohberger family. They're like, the Kohbergers should be the ones to pay for the therapist of Dylan and of Bethany. It should be them. Why, sir? Why? So we'll see you guys later. Thank you guys for joining me in today's live. I know that it's really not over yet. The live, I'm sure, is still proceeding, but everything is going to crash here. My phone is dying. My laptop is dying. So we'll see you guys soon. Leave a like, leave a comment, and let me know your thoughts in the comment section. What did you think about today? What did you think about July 23rd, 2025, 9 a.m.? We've been here 2.5 hours. What did you think of Brian Kohberger's sentencing and him choosing to not make any statements? Let me know. You guys have a wonderful day. Take care. Mwah. How do I exit? Let's see. End stream probably. Thank you guys. Welcome. I hope you watch from the beginning. Okay. Don't miss anything. Take care.